How to create an online store for Shopify in the UAE. Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing great. In this video, I'll try my best to include as much information as possible in around 20 minutes on how to create or how to get started with creating your Shopify store. So let's just go ahead and get started and not waste much time. So the first thing I will need to say is if you just go to our description down below and click on the link, you will have the chance to start a free trial with Shopify, and then from there it's going to be for the first month you will get it for only $1. So you'll have a month for pretty much just $1, and then you can set it up to be exactly what you want it to be, and then you can just go ahead and start your business. So I highly recommend that you just go down in the description and follow me through the steps that I will take you through, and sign up for free with a free trial. So click on the link down in the description and we can just get started. Now, before we get started with creating an actual store, we will need to talk about the things that are actually required upon us to have in order to start such a business. And those are only the basics. So you may need to actually ask more about your specific business that you're planning to start with Shopify, and ask about whether there are more things that you may need to have. So the things that are required here is going to be the trading license. So make sure that you have a trading license. If it's drop shipping, you will need to also talk to them about it, and they will give you the proper license for it. You can get it from Dubai Department of Economics. You can just find it in there if you want, or you can just talk to another specialist that will tell you exactly where to go and how to get it. So just go. This is a must. This is something that is a must have in order to start such a business in Shopify. And then the second thing is, if your turnover annually exceeds this amount, then you'll need to register for VAT. So there are going to be a few exceptions where people will need to actually register for VAT even though they don't exceed this amount annually. But you will need to again ask more about your specific business. I can't really state all the different conditions because each business is different. So make sure you ask exactly about your business and see what more you actually need when it comes to requirements in the UAE to get started with a Shopify store. But aside from that, to get started with creating a Shopify store, you want to click on the link down in the description, and you can just go in and click on add your email address in here and click on start free trial. Or you can just go in and click on start free trial on the top right, and it's just going to show us this section. So in here, we can just go in and get started with the questions here at the beginning. So what actually you want to do in here, you can just go and select whichever one that suits you best. I'm just going to click on next, and then here you can just go ahead and set up I'm just getting started, and I'm just going to again get started here. But again, you can also specify exactly what you're going to be doing. Now this is not going to be detrimental. You can change it later on, so it's not going to make a lot of difference. In here you will need to make sure you are located in the UAE if you are, and you can just go ahead and sign up with one of these methods. So I'm just going to sign up with Google, click on that, and then I'm just going to use this account as an example. And this is all when it comes to initializing the creation of your store, and now it should actually be created for us. And like I said, if you click on the link in the description, you will be getting a 3-day free trial, and you will get after this free trial, it's going to be free for 1 month. Not free, sorry, for $1. So it's practically for free. So now that we're in here, basically, we can just go ahead and get started by setting up our domain, the name of the store, and setting up a password and making sure that our account is secure. So you can do all of these things, or most of them are going to be from, if you click on My Store on the top right, you can just go and click on Manage Account. And then from here, you'll be able to set up a password. You can set up your if you go to security here, the two-step authentication method, which I highly recommend that you do, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a business. So make sure you actually set this up correctly with a password. So the name of the store, you can actually change it from settings and general, and you'll be able to change it from here. You can just go in and set up the name in here. and the email address, and also if you want to add a phone number to it. So now let's get started with what you actually need to do first. If you just click on settings at the bottom left, here I highly suggest that you get started by adding your payment methods. So click on payments and you will find these options here. So the first thing is going to be the payment provider that you actually want. You can just click on choose a payment provider, and I'm not really going to compare all of them. See whichever one is going to be best for you. I believe for UAE is going to be Stripe. I think it's going to be the best one. And you can just go ahead and set up this section here, but you can just go ahead and click on it, and you can, connect both Stripe with your Shopify store easily from here. I'm not really going to connect it right now. And then we can also add the payment methods that you want to accept money from. So here is going to be supported payment methods. You can set up PayPal, which in the UAE is actually very good. The fees are going to be as follows. I believe if you are, trying to withdraw some money from PayPal to your bank account and it is less than 700 dirhams, then it's going to the fee is going to be 11 dirhams, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, I'm not sure if there are more fees extra as well. So just go ahead and set up your payment methods, and we can just go ahead and move on by exiting out of here. So I'll try to make sections within this video. The first thing is going to be online store and customizing your online store to your liking. So this is very important because you want to make sure your online store is pleasing to the eye and it's going to be easy for people to access. So you can just go to online store, themes, and then from themes you can feel free to use the Dawn theme, which is the default theme that you will be getting, or you can also select a different theme. If you're just starting out, I highly recommend that you select the Dawn theme for one reason only, is that there are a lot of tutorials out there for the Dawn theme because it is the default one. So if you get stuck on something, most likely than not, if you find a tutorial is going to be about Dawn theme. So just go in and stick with this. And trust me, you can actually make it look a lot better than you think. So once you go to online store themes, you can just go in and click on customize. And then from here, you basically will be able to adjust most, not all, but most elements on your store. So here you have your sections here. So this is a specific section. This is a specific section. The first one is going to be announcement bar. So it's going to be this one right here. So you can actually see it from the right side of the screen. And on the left panel, you will be, it's going to tell you the sections that are available. For example, here we have announcement bar. So if you click on the arrow right next to it, it's going to show us the text that is available, which is this one, welcome to our store by default. You can change it by clicking on the text right over here, and you'll be able to set it up to be whatever you want. So we can just change the text. And if you wanted the announcement bar to have a link on it, you can also feel free to link it to a specific product, to a specific page, and so on. And again, same goes for the rest of them. So for example, the header, if you want to adjust it further, you can just go in and click on it, and you'll be able to adjust as much as possible when it comes down to it. Now, the menu itself is not going to be something that you change from here, but for example, the color, you can feel free to change it from here. Change these schemes, and I'll get to the schemes in a sec. Let's say we want to also change the announcement bar scheme. Click on announcement bar and select the scheme that you want. But let's say you actually want a custom scheme. What do we do then? You will need to go to the left panel where you will find theme settings. And if you click on theme settings, you will find a lot of stuff that we can play around with. For example, the logo section is going to be very important. That, if you're trying to start a business, make sure you have a proper logo that you are going to be working with. So if you click on logo here, you will find yourself in this section where you'll be able to add a logo and also a favicon. If you don't know what favicon is, it's pretty much the icon that shows at the top in the browser. So this is a favicon. But for the logo, you can just go and click on select image. Once you actually create your logo, click on upload image, and you can just use your logo. This is not our logo, but I'm just going to be using it for example purposes. And once you actually upload it, you just need to click on done, and just like that, it's going to change this section with your logo, and you can also feel free to resize it to your liking. Now, this is a very important step, so make sure you take your time to do it. And then also we have more stuff here like the favicon image and so on. Now for the colors, here is going to be the schemes that we talked about. You have scheme 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by default. You can feel free to edit them like so. You just click on one of them and you can feel free to adjust how they look like. For example, the background color, the color of the text, the color of the buttons, and so on. So feel free to change it to your liking here. It's not going to be restricted to a specific color. You can feel free to adjust it to your liking. Or the other thing that you can do is add a completely different scheme by just clicking on the plus icon, and you'll be able to add a background gradient, for example, like this. And we can just change the color so it is, you know, a little bit more unique. Maybe orange and yellow, and we can click on the other dot here and we can make it yellow, for example. And yeah, we can just play around with the schematics a little bit. And now to apply them, like I said, you just want to click on the section. For example, now we want it to apply to the featured product section. We just want to go back to sections here and just find the actual section that you want to color. So in my case, it's going to be featured products. Find future products. It's a collection here, and this name is collection. Click on it, and then you will find the schematics option at the bottom. Click on it and change it, and it's going to be changed here for us. Same goes for the footer. We can feel free to also change it. Just click on it and change scheme color. So it's very simple to change stuff like this. But what about images? So now we have this image in the middle. We don't like it. We want to change it. It's quite big as well. So how do we, figure this out? So you will find it by image banner. It's going to be image banner, and if we click on it, you will find the option which is first image. Select image, add images, and you'll be able to upload your very own image. I'm just again going to be using this one as an example with a white background this time. And once it's done uploading, I'm just going to click on done. And now we have this image right here, but still it is not, it's quite big, for our site. We can also make it smaller if you would like. Again, just go ahead and click on the image banner section. And if we just go ahead and scroll down a little bit, we can just change the size for it. It's going to be, this is the opacity. So this is the opacity, so you can actually make it more visible or not. But the size is going to be this one, which is banner height. So if you click on it, we can actually make it small. And it's going to look a little something like this, or medium if you would like. And we can also change the button. So right now we have a button which says shop all, and it doesn't really do much right now, or it actually does, but we want to change the button. How do we do so? Again, it's going to be the same thing. We just go back to the home page. We locate the button, which is within the image banner. Click on button. You'll be able to change the text and also where it actually links to. So you can either add a URL in here or a specific product or page. Now, I believe this is section 1 done when it comes to customization. The only thing left for me to say is that you will need to save on the top right after every change. And also to switch between pages, you can just go to the top corner, or not corner, but just at the top here, you'll find home page. You can select whichever page you want to go to. So for example, default product page if you have one, which I don't right now, and so on. So you can just do the same thing for the rest of the pages. Now, here we are pretty much set, so you know exactly how to edit things. You can also add more sections by clicking on add section at the bottom here, and you can just add, for example, a slider. So let's just add a slideshow, and we can actually see that it is added in here. And we can again just go ahead and move them up or down to our liking. For example, we want it to be on top of featured collection, and now you can actually move it around from the left panel. And again, you will be able to just change the images from these options here. So what about the menu items? So what do we do in here? What can we add a drop down and so on? We can actually do so, and it's not going to be from the customization tab. So click on save and exit out of here. This is going to be the navigation basically. So all you need to do is just click on online store, and then from here we basically want to click on navigation. There are going to be two different types, the footer menu and the main menu. So we will be doing the main menu first, which is the one that we just saw. This is the most important one. for the time being. And it's going to be called main menu. This is the name. It's just going to help you to determine which menu it is, so it's not necessary. But here we have the menu items, which are the pages, home, catalog, and contact. And here you can feel free to add more items. So for example, just click on add menu item. And from here, you can add the name to it. So it's actually going to be visible for people. So make sure you add a proper name to it. I'm just going to do test. And then you can feel free to add whichever page that you actually want. So you can just add a blogs page. And we don't have a blog for the time being, so it's not going to work. Let's see if we have a policy. Yes, privacy policy, and add. And now we have this page now in the menu. Now, how do we make it a drop-down menu? You basically want to add elements, and then you would want to drag and drop them right underneath the other items. So for example, now contact is going to have this one as a drop-down. And if you want to add more, you can also feel free to do so, like so. So now we have a drop-down menu with home, contact, and then contact is going to nest test and catalog. So let's see how this is actually going to reflect on our site, and it's how it's actually going to look like. If we just visit our online store here, we can actually see it did not change. You know, sometimes when you make changes, Shopify doesn't register right away. So you may need to restart a few times. Let me just go and restart in here. And now view our online store. And now we can actually see we have the menu option home, contact, and if you click on this, it's just going to show us two different nested menu items. So this is for the navigation part of things. Obviously, with pages, you can feel free to create as many pages as you would like. It could be for blog posts, it could be for anything really. But I highly suggest if you want to do blog posts, you do it from the blog post section. And here you can just go in and create your pages, for example, for privacy policy and so on. And when it comes to policies, by the way, you can actually go ahead and access the settings. And if you just search policies, you will find the setting option where you'll be able to set up the return and refund policy, the privacy policy, and so on, which is obviously very, very important. So make sure you take your time to set up these policies in here. So now we talked about navigation and we talked about, creating pages and so on. Now about products, if you want to go to products here, let's just go in and add products. Now, if your drop shipping is going to be a little bit different, you need to go to add apps. And from apps, you can just click on Shopify App Store. And in the App Store, there's a lot of different apps for many different reasons. There is going to be apps that are going to help you with marketing. There are going to be apps that are going to help you with contacting your customers. There are going to be also apps that are going to help you with dropshipping if you want to do it the right way, like Printful, for example, which is print on demand. You can create your own designs on shirts and so on and sell them. And these are going to be all within the marketplace. So there are going to be a lot of apps, even helping you with the design of your Shopify store. So there's a lot to it when it comes to Shopify App Store. Just make sure you do your research on which app you should actually install and which app is, pretty much a scam. And yeah, so aside from dropshipping, if you want to add your very own product, you can just go to the products section. And if you click on add product, you'll be able to add your product in here. So first is going to ask you for the title and description. For the title, obviously, is going to be the title of the item. Description is going to be as precise as humanly possible. Make sure you exactly tell people what they're actually going to be paying for. Don't lie to them. Don't hide stuff. Make sure you're honest and you state exactly what they'll be getting. If you're dropshipping, make sure that you let them know that the supplier is going to do this and that for them, and state everything that you possibly could in the description in a clean manner. Media is going to be the images, so you can just upload new, and you can feel free to upload your images for your product like so. And then we can set up a category. So whether it's for example shirts, whatever type of category it is going to actually be very helpful with meta fields. Again, here you will find the pricing point, so you can just add the price, and we can also add the quantity. So how many items do we have in our store? for this specific product, and we can also check the track quantity. This way, when somebody purchases an item from us, we can just track that, now we have 124 instead of 125. And we can also have the options, for example, to continue selling when out of stock and so on. Shipping when it comes to the weight. So if it's a physical product, you will need to state the weight of it. If you want to add variants, so for example, if it's a shirt, you can add color variants or size variants or fabric and so on. So there's going to be a lot of meta fields that you can actually add from these two. So either variants or meta fields if available. Not every product is going to have meta fields. So on the top right, you will find product type. Here again, you can just go ahead and set it up. Vendor, collections, tags, and so on. Tags are going to help you with collections, which is a huge thing. And then at the bottom, you'll also have the meta title and description. So if you click on the pencil icon, you'll have the page title and meta description. This is going to help you with getting recognized by Google. So when somebody does a Google search, they will find you in the results, and the results are going to look like this: the page title and the meta description. Now let's talk about collections. I'm just going to save this product for the time being. Collections are going to be basically a group of items, and you can set up rules so that if the item does have this rule, it's just going to automatically be added to collections, to a specific collection. So you can just go and click on create collection. It should be from the product section. You can just go ahead and give it a name, test collection in my case, a description. You get the idea. And then we can also set up the collection type. So whether it's going to be manual or automated. So I'm just going to click on automated because this is going to be a lot easier for us. If it's manual, then you would need to go to each product and select that it is among this collection. But I really like the automated one because in here you can actually set up conditions. So for example, the product must match the specific all conditions, which is tag is equal to color, for example. So now you may not understand much, but basically all it says here, if a product has the tag color in it, it's automatically going to be added to this collection that we just created. And you can also add an image to your collection, by the way. So let's just go back to products real quick. And this product right here, if we just go click on it and add the tag from the right here, if we add the tag color in it, it's actually going to be added to our collection. It may take a little bit of time to load, but now it is actually a part of that collection. Let's see if it is actually in here yet or not. Like I said, it does take a little bit of time to load, but it should automatically move to this collection because the condition is if the tag matches this, then it's going to be added. And you can feel free to add more conditions, by the way, in here. Now, I think I did cover most of the basics. Now there are going to be more stuff. As you can see, the product is here. Now there are going to be more stuff as well that you can do with your online store. For example, app embeds. Let's say Shopify does not offer a specific thing element. Then you have two options. Either one, go to the apps section, find an app that is going to allow you to do so. Or you can just go ahead and go to a different website which allows for app embeds, and you can just go ahead and embed it to your website or your product description and so on. For example, in products, just click on the description here. If you want to embed anything, you can just go ahead and go to the description or a page or whatever it may be. Click on the show HTML option and just add the HTML embed in here. It's going to be embedded for you. So these are, I think, the most basic elements that you actually need to know to get started. So don't hesitate. I think the best step is actually taking the first step. So just go ahead and take your first step, create your store, click on the link down in the description, and do most of what I said today. Not all of it, because some of it is going to take a little bit more time. But try to make your store as best as you could right now, and hopefully you found this journey to be easy and fruitful. And thanks for watching.